Okay, guys, well, welcome to our Thursday night training. And tonight we've got one of my favorite trainers, one of my favorite persons, I guess would be the right way to describe that. And she had earned Leadership 500, and I knew she was going to just absorb everything they taught. And between Todd Duncan and I don't even know all the goodness that they poured into these people who earned this trip. But just so everybody knows, there's another Leadership 500 to be earned right now for, I think, June or July. So they're going to continue to do this. They're going to continue to pour into you guys. And Monty-Lea is, like I said, one of my favorites. And she is, and I mean that. I'm not just saying that. And she is going to share with us about her Leadership 500 experience and what she learned. And let me try to get it to where the display looks good, and then you can just take it off. Okay.
Aw, well, thank you so much, Aaron. That means so much to me. You're one of my favorite people too. I am just so grateful because we know that this is all about community and about relationships. And that was what leadership was all about. Like it warmed my heart in so many ways. I'm so grateful to have been there. Todd Duncan blew me away. And so did all of the senior executive directors that did little bits of training there for us. And of course, they spoiled us like crazy. The hotel was beautiful. The waterfront was beautiful. Everything was great. So definitely it is something you want to work to achieve. So I will leave you with that. And I'm going to start. There is so much more that was covered, but I wanted to kind of break it into 3 major nuggets to hopefully get out to you within a 20-minute time period. And then, of course, there's always more to delve into, and I'm happy to share at any time. So the first thing that I took away was to invest your time in building a foundation. And this is something we are always working with new people to ask them, what's your why, what's your purpose? But it's so much more important than that, because you also need to have a mission. If you think about any big business out there, including Money, we have a mission statement. It's actually, in our Meet Money brochure, and there is a mission statement stated in there. And it's so important that you have a mission statement, something that you're actually trying to achieve with your business. So it could simply be something as simple as, I help women who want to build a better life. Your mission statement is going to be your own. And this is something that so many of those SEDs touched on. And it was just so amazing to hear what they had to say and how focused they were in their business. And that was a really important takeaway for me as well. So you want to spend some time to develop that mission statement, as well as your purpose. And also who it is that you're looking for, like who are you looking for? Who are your pillars? Because when you think about it, and this is something Todd shared with us that was really cool. He said, would you build a house or a hotel? Like we were sitting in a hotel. He's like, would you build this by just starting to slap a bunch of boards and wood and pouring concrete in? You wouldn't. You would spend time to build the foundation and have a plan, a blueprint, a plan on how it's going to look. And so in doing so, that's going to take time. So how much time would it take for someone to create a blueprint to build something that massive? Because we're not just talking about a house, we're talking about a whole enterprise here. And, we talked about that a little bit. So I don't know what kind of times you guys think it would take. Maybe drop it in the comments. How long do you think it takes with all those people to come together to figure out how long it would take to build an entire hotel? And I'll see those hopefully popping up, because that would be really cool. Like, just honestly, just throw it out there. Just think about that, because it's so important to have an understanding of what kind of time needs to be invested in something like that. Yes, I can, but it's like, yeah, probably about a year. Totally, Kelly. It could be 2 years, it could be whatever, but it's going to take time. Now, if you stop and think for 2 minutes or for 2 seconds, how much time have you spent building your foundation for your business? I had to say None really. Like I'd worked on a why, but I didn't have a mission statement. I didn't know exactly who I was looking for. And these are things that are so important because otherwise you're trying to attract all these different people that have nothing to do with you. There's no way for them to relate to you or connect to you. Okay, so it's so important that we take that time. And even if you don't even have to take a 12th of that time. Even if you took 12 hours instead of 12 months, right? You might take 12 hours, you might take 2 hours, whatever it takes. But it's so important that you spend the time to focus on this because it's going to make everything moving forward that much better. You're already working on the why and your purpose. Why do you get up in the morning? What gets you up? And also now you just want to know what your pillars are. So your pillars are your passions. And it's also passions that you're looking for in other people, skills and passions that other people are going to be able to share with you, be likened to you so that you can connect to them. So it could be that they are a soccer mom or they are a dog mom, or they're really into fashion, or they're really into beauty products, or they're really into anti-aging, or they're really just into healthy living. So when you're searching for people, you can use these keywords to help you to find your people. Those are your pillars, and you really do want to be specific, and you want to stick to those. So you know that you're going to be able to connect with those people, because when you know your pillars, this I love, okay? You, and you find your people who fit them. You won't have to wonder what to say. You'll be so genuinely excited to find out more about them and how you can connect with them and relate with them. You'll want to build a relationship with them. It will be an easy conversation and it will feel good for both of you. So all those times we're wondering, well, what do I say next? Should I be using a script here? There's no script. It's actually genuinely looking for, searching for, and finding the people who fit you and your pillars. It's a very intentional activity and it feels amazing. Like I really does. It's so fun. We have power hours every morning. I get on, and when I find somebody that is sharing something that makes me go, oh, I'm so excited. I say it out loud and we talk about it. And Brandy knows because she's there often. And we talk about how excited we are to connect with that person. So finding your people is so important. Okay. Then when you're looking for your people on your foundation, it's really important to remember that you are not trying to sell them anything. That is not your goal when you're looking for people. You are actually trying to meet people where they are, get to know them, and help them to transform their life into something that they want. It's all about the relationship, and it's all about what's important to them. And I loved this so much because we heard it again and again and again. And Todd Duncan, nothing is about sales. It's all about high trust and relationships. So once you've found your people and you're working through it, the biggest thing is to know what their purpose would be, to break it down, what's important to them and why. So it could be time with family, but that's kind of still quite broad. You want to make sure you understand why time with family is important to them. We did a little game and we figured out some more information, but it could be because it's satisfying to them. It could be because it means that they get to see their kids do certain milestones and experience that with them. But what it really comes down to is talking to people, asking them the questions until they finally figure out what makes them happy and what brings them joy, because that is the ultimate goal in your business and basically in anything in life. So that was huge for me. I love that everything was focused around just happiness, joy, and relationships. And it's also super important to know that every partner needs to know their why or their purpose, okay, and what it will actually provide for them. So that end goal of what it's providing, because otherwise, sometimes we have a why and it's not strong enough. So really digging deep is important in addition to having your own mission statement, as well as your pillars and knowing who you're looking for. So what is what? Two questions to ask. You need to know what you're working for. Okay, so if it is that time with your family and why, and is what you're doing right now going to bring you closer to that purpose? So always just double checking. I mean, not necessarily every day, but when you sit down and you look, and like, especially now at the end of the quarter, I mean, to me, this is still the month where April is kind of the end of the first quarter where we get to go and restock and look at and reassess and figure out what we're going to do next. What was working? What wasn't working so great, and what can we do to make it better? And one of those things is looking at your activities every day and asking yourself that question: is what I'm doing right now going to bring me closer to my purpose? Okay, so that's all about your foundation and figuring out exactly how you're going to start your business and having that vision plan. Because without it, you're kind of lost. With no business plan, no bank's going to loan you money. So with no vision plan, you're not going to have what you need to move forward. That's why they won't loan you the money. They want the plan, because with the plan, you have the best chance to succeed. Okay, the second thing is, which you hear about a lot, is invest in yourself. Okay, so it's so important that we take time every single day to work on personal development. And I love this. And it's so great because we do this as a team. Brittany is one of the best cheerleaders and mentors for sharing personal development. And Aaron shares so many great YouTube things that he finds. Like this team has so much goodness and so much mentorship where they're always pouring into us if you are just paying attention and being willing and open to see it all. So personal development is huge. Also taking care of your intellectual self, your emotional self, it all kind of ties into personal development, but making sure that you're reading books. You should always be reading at least one book every single day, whether it's the new Todd Duncan book or it's something else. You need to be reading something that is going to enrich your life, enrich your emotional knowledge and your intellectual knowledge. And then your self-care. So taking time and actually scheduling in self-care and doing things that make you feel good. Taking time and realizing that you are worth it. And being intentional with the time that you spend on yourself, whether you're going to a salon or you're just taking time to do a facial mask or you're taking time to meditate. It's so important just to invest in yourself in that way. The final thing about investing in yourself is to be mindful of your perception. And that is because what you see or think, as in the direction you're looking, is the direction you're going to go. It's just like when you're riding a bike. You're teaching your kids to ride a bike and they're pedaling along and then they're looking over there. Where do they go? They go into the bush they were looking at. So if you're not being focused and you're looking elsewhere, then you could find yourself off course. It's so important to have your perception set and looking and focusing on the ultimate goal of where you want to go to, so that that's where you're going to go. We already know what you think is what you are, right? So whatever you believe and what you're thinking about yourself is what you're going to become. So that perception is important. You really have to trust you in this business, hence the personal development, hence the self-care, because you have to trust that you're worth it. And you have to trust in your purpose and your why, that it's valid and it's worth it. And you have to trust in your intention. The final thing with investing in yourself is also just asking yourself, and I loved this so much, am I in the shampoo business or am I in business sharing shampoo? And it kind of seems like, okay, I don't get that. But when you really think about it, are you a business owner or are you just kind of in a hobby in a shampoo business? So really focusing on ownership and the fact that this is more than just shampoo, which we already know, and being able to commit yourself to being a business owner, sharing amazing products and an opportunity that changes lives. Okay, I love that. Okay, and the third thing is to invest in a schedule. which some of us do and some of us don't. And I know I can be the worst to start a schedule and then get a little wishy-washy on it. But honestly, you're going to have so much more success when you do, because time is a gift and it's not to be wasted. And most people enter this industry, this business format, because they want more time. You'll hear that so much. So it's really important that people understand how to master their time. You cannot manage time. You can't change time. You can't get more time in the day. There's only 24 hours for everybody, but you can master how you spend your time. So having a daily list of action items and non-negotiables, which seems kind of like we all get it, and also holding yourself accountable. So having either an accountability partner or hosting or participating in a weekly accountability meeting. I love these with my team. They're a chance for us to get in and literally give numbers. How many people did you talk to this week? How many new friends did you make? How many people did you share Monat with? How many people took your quiz or took a quiz or did a consultation of some kind? How many people did you invite to join you on a call or in person or to coffee? It's not about the results, it's about the actions. And so that accountability is amazing. It's so, so helpful. And I just love it. It's always about relationships and trust over numbers, but you have to have the numbers as well. So it's a good balance of realizing you have these goals of making 5 new friends, but you don't just want to willy-nilly go on your profile or whatever and just click, 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 click. You need to find people who fit your pillars. And you can do this when you're out in public as well. My new market partner couldn't make it on. She was still at work this evening, but I met her when I was shopping to go to leadership. The day before, I decided I needed a new white blazer, and I went on a mission to find one. And I marched into the store and I looked around and smiled at the ladies and went, "Oh, hey, I'm looking." They're like, "What are you looking for?" "I'm looking for a white blazer." And then I just started sharing, "I'm going to Miami." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, so jealous." Well, by the time we were finished the conversation, she's bringing me through. She was like, it was like my friend telling me, "I'm so excited for you to go to Miami." I said, "I know. And it's for free. I earned this with my business. It's a leadership training. I'm not only getting to go to Miami, but I'm getting poured into with all this personal growth." And she's like, "Well, I would like that." And so I got her number. I sent her some information. I sent her one of our recorded videos. And then when I got back, I chatted with her and she signed up. And she is the loveliest lady. And you know what's so funny is we found out afterwards that her daughter actually has been using Monat and been in Monat since before Christmas. All of her daughter's friends are. And I'm like, oh, thinking maybe she'd want to work with them. She's like, "Oh, I wouldn't have wanted to work with them anyways." I totally relate to you. So it's always, it's not my point to go, "Oh, she relates to me." It's always about the relationships. It's always about how we connect to people. It's about that quality over quantity. So when you spend the time, make sure that you're making quality connections. This was something Todd Duncan took to the nth. He actually said to us that you should work smarter. And he said, to work smarter, you are better to have fewer people that work and produce than more people that require more of your time. He went so far as to say, would you rather work with 20 people that make you $1 million a year or one person that makes you 20 million? Because he likes big numbers. And we were all like, "Woo, all your eggs in one basket." He's like, "Yeah, but you just gotta love on that basket." So it's a completely different mindset from some things that we've done, but then it's also just really focusing on the relationships, which we know, because we all grow in the beginning, because we're talking to the people we know and they know, like, and trust us. And then eventually we try to go into these cold marks and we're like, why can't we make this work? Because it's all about the relationships. And you can't build a relationship with someone, well, you can, but it's really hard to build relationships with people that you know nothing about or have nothing in common with, that you don't share any common pillars. Essentially, he says, you should truly love with all your heart every single person on your team. They should all mean something to you because you should know them that well, and they should know you. You should be able to connect with them. So that's something just to remember. Think about it. Is this the person I want to travel with? Is this a person I want to go on trips with, that I want to spend time with? Would I want to share a hotel room and a bathroom with this person? Because that's what you're looking for. Is the answer yes? That's your person. If you're really like, no, then maybe that's not somebody you want to work with, because your energy is precious as well. You need to be vibing at your highest. So you need to be with people who your energies bounce back and forth. You need to be able to connect. So his biggest thing, ask questions to learn about them. He doesn't mean ask people to come and join your business right away. You want to ask and learn about them. And then you want to nurture them. And then praise them, and find out what they're good at, and, you know, make them feel good about themselves genuinely, because it'll make you feel good as well. So a couple of things just to wrap up. I think I did okay. Top skills that he said. There's 3 top skills. The first one is your conversational productivity. So get good at asking questions and talking to people. This is one of the most important skills you need to have to build trust with people. And when you're working on that, you'll get better. Okay, so it's having those good conversations with people. You'll just get better. But it is a skill you can improve at. So that's amazing. The second is to make an emotional connection. You have to make an emotional connection with every single person that you're bringing onto your team, because that's going to develop not only care from you to them, but also that loyalty and that trust, that they're going to be able to come to you when they need something. They're going to trust you with their friends. Okay. And 3, which I love so much, this made me so happy. You need to think with your heart instead of your head at all times. Like, I love this man. This man is like my yes. Everything he said, I just got more and more and more excited. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so if you build it, meaning your foundation and your pillars and your purpose and your mission, if you build it, they will come. So the closing is a direct quote from Todd Duncan. Transactions will make you a living. Relationships will make you rich, in every sense of the word. That is my takeaway from Miami. Oh, and my leadership shirt. I hope you guys loved it. I loved being there so much. I'm so grateful and humbled to have been there when I was. And I hope some of you get there. I hope you get there, and I hope you get there and get that first 50 and you get to have lunch with Todd Duncan.
Wow, thank you, Monty-Lea. That was better than I could have possibly imagined. Todd Duncan is one of my favorites, I gotta be honest with you, and they continue to pour into us with him. So guys, you got a chance now to earn another trip to Miami and get training from Todd Duncan. The way you ended that couldn't have been more perfect. The quote from Todd Duncan, if you haven't read his books, feel free to read his books. Maybe there's some YouTube videos, all of it. But really, go back over this training. It'll be posted in Rockstars and on my YouTube, and you guys can write down more notes, ping Monty-Lea to build a relationship there. I think would be fantastic. But great takeaways. Thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions?
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody so much. And thank you, Aaron.
Okay, thanks a lot, Monty-Lea. We'll see you very soon, I think.
Very soon.
Okay.
Free
take care,
sleeps.
guys. All right. Bye-bye.